Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy DD758 Sakafet. To all my subscribers, I'd like to say thank you. And to all my new subscribers, I'd like to say thank you. Don't forget to leave a comment and don't forget to log in every Thursday to Married at First Sight, my review, and my recap. This recap is the name of it is is about the dogs. We know it's about the dogs, but there is this one dog that I just do not support on this show because something is definitely wrong with that guy. But then let's get into it. First, we have Clara and Ryan. Clara and Ryan. Clara is trying her best to basically get a connection with Ryan, and she's having a difficulty getting a connection with Ryan because Ryan is not the type of guy that seems to want to indulge in any sexual activity. And then you can see Clara is very frustrated. Like it's really getting to her, and she's frustrated at the moment as to Ryan and his thoughts, what he's thinking. But Ryan now is like, I think Ryan is a perfectionist. So Ryan is trying to get it to a point where he has feelings for, because I personally don't think Ryan is attracted to Clara. But if I was the producers, you know what I would do? I'll turn the cameras off. I'll say, hey, Ryan, go in there, handle your business, and lock that door. And unless you don't handle your business, you're not coming out of that room. You know what I'm saying? So that he and Clara, they just having that's the biggest part of the relationship where they just cannot get to that point where they can consummate the marriage, because Ryan is a perfectionist, in my opinion, and he just wants to get to where a space where he and Clara is in that zone where he has they're in that zone where he can actually consummate the marriage. But you can see Clara is getting to a point, she's very frustrated. She's like, he was talking to her and telling her what he wants to get to that point where they can probably consummate the marriage. He tell her he will let her know. And Clara is like, okay, well, all right, Ryan. And she's like this, and she's on a phone, like she don't even care, because she's just so frustrated with Ryan and Ryan's whole demeanor, his whole personality. Like she's just frustrated. But the thing that's really frustrating her is they're not having sex. So then she had some yoga specialists come to the house where they were doing different poses, different sex poses, to try and entice him. But closer to the ending of that episode, Clara revealed that Ryan is getting fulfilled, but orally. Basically, she's doing all this to Ryan. Ryan is being fulfilled, but Ryan is just not doing anything further than he being relieved. So that's really unfair. You guys are married. If you're getting fulfilled and she's relieving your stress, why can't you do the same thing for, like, just do it? Because you're already married, but then she's granting you the favors. She's doing the sexual favors to you almost every night or every other night. And then he's not granting her the same respect or the same grace and do it back to her. So it's still at the point where the two of them are still at the point where she's frustrated. Then we got Brianna and Vincent, my boy Champagne Vinny and Brie. Champagne Vinny and Brie, they're my favorite couple right now. I was moving back and forth between them and Jacob because Jacob and Haley, because I like Jacob and Haley relationship, like they're real. But then I'll go back to Brie and Vincent. Brie and Vincent, they're really getting it on. Like to me, that's what I want to see watching that show. So this show is really good for me because you can learn a lot from this show, and it's telling you a lot about different relationships. But Vincent and Brianna, their chemistry is good. They're starting to work on the little issues they're having. I still think that he's still a little sensitive, but they're getting there. So it's all good. It got to a point where Vincent told her what he wants from the last episode, the anniversary. It happened, and then he took her to dinner or lunch, whatever it was. And then they were chilling in the bed, they were having a quick conversation, and he's like, well, he wants her to be a sugar mama. I was like, yo, Vincent, do you know the definition of a sugar mama? But I guess he doesn't know, that's why he called her that. But I would not call my girlfriend, which is really about the same age, my sugar mama. Because basically a sugar mama is an older woman that will take care of a younger man, like get him an apartment, give him money, buy him nice cars. That's what a sugar mama is, just like a sugar daddy, but he called her sugar mama. I guess maybe he didn't realize what he said. And if it was she that made that remark to him, he's sensitive already. He'll be like, oh, I'm going back to my apartment, he would leave. And we know how he's sensitive already. But they had a little that's a little romantic. Like he got a bike, they had a little bike ride, they made a little bet, and that's chemistry. We can see that chemistry is there, and that's nice. I enjoy the chemistry. So with all that chemistry, they had that race. And the race they had, basically, he told her if she won what she wants, and she's like $1,000. I was like, come on, bro. Like $1,000, like can you ask for something else? Like that's too much. Like and like they're like, oh well, but like I say, I love the chemistry. Let's move on. They're cute together. Oh my, Virginia and Mr. Soldier Boy. Virginia and Soldier Boy. What's up with Soldier Boy? He is that man is controlling, and I knew that would have happened because the only moment they had was when they had that issue with Chris in Las Vegas, and then he stood up for, and they were like so lovey-dovey, and he's like, "I love you," like, and every time they meet the other couples, they try to make the other couples feel jealous by telling them, "Oh, the relationship is great, this, that, yeah, right," and then they're having so many issues. This time they want to end the marriage. Well, he wants to. Erik wants to end the marriage because of the dog. Like really, like it's just a dog, buddy. I mean, the dog needs training, and it's the way he comes across with his messages. Like he needs to slow down because Virginia, at the end of the day, regardless of she likes to drink, she has anxiety problems. Virginia is not a child, and he's acting like he's a parent and she's the child. So that for me, that's wrong because he's like, oh, if you don't want to deal with this, you can always leave. Like, come on, bro. Like, why would you tell her to leave? That's your wife. And then she went outside. She had a discussion with the producers as to, she can't take it. They argued the night before. And then what he does, because I knew that man didn't like her friends, her male friends. Like he was just acting and pretending like he liked the friends, but he didn't. Because what he did was when they had that conversation about the friends and he met the friends, it was all nice and well. But then they showed a clip that he got upset when she was trying to go out and just clear her mind and have some drinks. And he started an argument. And the reason why he started that argument, because that man is very calculative. He started the argument so that when he started the argument, like she would not want to go, or even if she goes, he can have a justified reason why why she left and she did this. Like he can victim blame her and stuff like that. But regardless, like I say, of how she is, I think he needs to realize she's not a child, she's an adult. The two of them in a relationship, you're married, yeah, just try and make it work, but just stop being like you're the alpha, like, and she's just like one of the lower class, in the bunch. Like just listen to her sometimes because you can see she's pro, like she has a problem and she has stuff she deals with. But it's the way he approaches her, it's totally wrong in my opinion. You cannot approach a woman like that and speak to her like that, like she's your child. She's not a child. The same way a woman shouldn't speak to a man in that way. But then he's right about the dog. And when he's right when he told her like the dogs are like the two of us. Like the dogs, their dogs, they love each of them love the dogs, but each of the dogs have their own personality. So his dog basically has his personality and her dog has her personality because Virginia looks like someone that never had boundaries in her life. In growing up, she looked like she used to do whatever she wanted. Her parents wouldn't care. So then basically that's what it is about with the two of them. But I don't think the two of them will work. The two of them definitely will not work. But we'll see how it goes between the two of them. Then we got my girl Paige. Finally, Paige. Finally, 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 finally. And I think it's just because the last time Paige went to a mother house, Paige is finally getting the idea as to she need to get away from what we call him now, Chris Jackson. Let's just put it out there. That's his name. He's not Chris, it's Chris Jackson because he's Derek Jackson's cousin. We know all that. But Chris Jackson, that man, closer to the ending of the episode, Pastor Carl asked, you wonder what planet is Chris on? And I was wondering the same thing. And I also said that on my boy channel, Little Black Book. Go check him out. Go subscribe to his channel. I said on his platform that I think Chris is from Uranus, to be honest, because I don't think Chris is living on Earth. Chris, something is definitely wrong with Chris. Chris is blaming Paige for not being emotionally supportive to him, not wanting to take the relationship serious, which is nonsense. From the starting of that season, Chris is just not interested in Paige. And he's trying to, he's a gaslighter. That's what he does. Like Chris is a gaslighter, making Paige think she has the issue, and he's the one that have the problem. And judging from the planet he's from, we all know what, if you take your time and say Uranus, we all know what I'm trying to say what is. Basically. And Chris is just not husband material. Chris is taking that whole experience for a joke. And we can see that. He's just taking it for a joke. And Paige, there is nothing on this earth or in the laws on this earth saying you have to break family tradition. That's not your responsibility to break family tradition. If your family has that issue where they get divorces, you are not the one to try and break that chain. It's not your responsibility. So what you're going to do, like she said, she realized she was losing herself and she had to come back. So what make you think that you'll be the one to break that family tradition? To you, it's your family tradition, but for me, it's just you not wanting to stay in that type of relationship and stay in that type of abuse from a man or woman. So she's evaluating herself, and she's being more to herself, like doing what she did. But then her brother came to her apartment with his wife, and I didn't like what I didn't like her brother's energy a little bit. It just a little sense I didn't like his energy too much. For me, my sister told me what Chris did. Hey, we got to have that conversation as men. We got to have that conversation. There's no way you can talk to my sister or treat my sister like that, and we don't have that conversation. And he's like, oh well, when you're in your 20s, you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s, well, you can have, the person of it, you can meet somebody else. Nah, bro, it don't work like that. I would give it that advice, but Chris and I would have to have a conversation. Maybe we need to step outside. I'm just saying, but ain't nobody going to treat my sister like this and then think she tell me about it and then I don't address it. I don't care how far it gets. I'm just saying that's just me as a man. But you ain't having we need to have that conversation of why you're treating my sister like this. But I'm finally happy Paige is coming to her senses, and finally her family show up. And that was a good thing that her family showed up and put some sense into her head. Then we have Jacob and Haley. Oil and water. Oil and water don't mix. But they're still trying. I think Jacob's attention span to Haley is like zero. When Haley sat on the couch and he was explaining to Haley was explaining to him about sometimes she traveled. He's like, oh well, maybe we can do deep tissue whatever on Sunday. Like his attention span to Haley is really short. And he keeps on making those jokes, which is fine. He can make his corny jokes, whatever, but I just not Team Jacob. I don't know. Maybe you ladies in the comments or anybody in the comments can be Team Jacob, but I'm not Team Jacob. Neither am I Team Haley, but I think both of them just don't like each other. And they just need to go their separate ways. Basically, that's all it is. Just go their separate ways and just end that relationship, end that marriage right now, because at one point in time, she got happy when she won it. And you can see Haley, like I say, Haley's background, Haley looks like the sorority girls, those girls that grew up around those big, strong, muscular football players. And Jacob looks like that nerdy guy back in the high school that was really slim, probably didn't have girlfriends, didn't have friends. And now that he got his education, he got a good job, he buff up because he has all his supplements he takes to look more presentable to a woman, or more eye candy to a woman, I would say, because women love the eye candy. But then yet still, he and Haley just don't mesh. They don't. Haley don't. And his personality is probably not a guy that can talk to a woman, because if for me, my observation, he speaks with the guys better when he meets up with the guys than he speaks to Haley. But that's just my observation. But the two of them, they really do not mesh. What's up, Kia Simone?
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm good
today. You have a date? Is there do I have to be your brother and come and talk to that guy you're going on that date with because you're looking extra today?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Turn up.
No, I say you look extra today. So do I have to be that brother that need to go and talk to that guy and have that conversation?
Well, thank you, but no, like I was thinking her brother was laid back, because you remember what Paige said, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. So she probably is one of them repeat offenders. And you know, those person that you go over there and jump on it and she she go and bail him out of jail to, and like, why you hurt my boyfriend? So maybe her brother was like, listen, Paige, you're naive. Because he was calm. So maybe he's used to Paige doing this.
Yeah, well, but nah. I mean, Paige must have been, but it could have also been that Paige now. Yeah, she might have a habit of doing it, but I don't think it could have been to that extent with Chris, because Chris, I don't know. Something is definitely wrong with Chris.
And maybe he just wants to keep it quiet for the TV, because sometimes, real street people, they don't say what they're gonna do, and they just
he ain't got to incriminate himself. Don't get me wrong. But all I'll tell Paige is Chris and I need to have a conversation. That's all I would say. And then wherever it goes from there, it goes from there. If you end up wherever you end up, but I would not incriminate myself on national television. But then I just feel like the brother should have more energy. He should have more energy.
Yeah, like I said, but we don't know the backstory, because he was just like a little bit like, And like you said, if you got a sister, like I have a family member that does that. I'm not going to jail with you, and then you over there like hugging him that night, and mad at me. So, Dee, some people you just be like, if you get a black eye, I'm not for it.
Well, but what do you think about Paige finally, like her family show up from the last episode? She spent some time with her mom to this episode. Her family showed up, and then she's changing her whole. She's reevaluating herself, and then like she says, because she even said sometimes she just needs to be by herself. So she's reevaluating herself so that she can probably I hope she doesn't go back to Chris, but we will see.
So while I was waiting in the chat, somebody said as soon as Chris popped back up with them pink sneakers, she gonna be. So I don't believe nothing Paige says. Paige just goes with the flow. So I'm gonna tell you why, because I watched it unfiltered prior to the episode, and then she was going to get a tarot reading. Like, Paige, first of all, you're saying you're Christian, but you know that you shouldn't be going to get a tarot reading. You opening up a whole nother door. So now you believe in tarot readings? Come on, Paige. She just easily go with anything. Like, Paige, I don't believe nothing she's saying. It would have to be years before I would just believe Paige is done with Chris. Because if he walked back in there with them pink Snickers on the reunion shop,
no. You know what I think? The last episode when he had that tacky suit. If he walked back in with that tacky
now
suit.
you agree. Somebody else wants to tell you.
Yeah, but I told you and Diali I'm going to get me that suit. It's on its way. When I'm ready, I'll wait on the show for you guys to see. But let's just see what. Hey, Nus, what's up?
Hey y'all, how are you?
Good.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Good. Man,
What you gotta
Dee,
say?
listen, like you guys said, like Kia said, Paige brother is used to, you see all of them was sitting there like, okay, girl, and what are we eating for lunch? They know what the deal is. Paige has done this time and time again. And this is actually, it's so sad to me because this is a grown woman. We see so much value in Paige. Paige is so intelligent. Paige is beautiful. Paige is a really great catch. But it's like, well, why are you just, I don't, oh gosh, it just hurts me to the core that out of all people, nobody should play you. But to allow an airhead that looked like Chris to play you like this? No, ma'am. That tells me there's a very major disconnection in the brain, because at the end of the day, she was saying that, oh, she didn't want to fail in marriage. Ma'am, this was not a marriage. This wasn't even a relationship. This was a one-night stand that had legal documentations attached to it. And the moment that Chris was in the clear within the time frame, Chris was never even in the apartment. He never even made it seem as if though he wanted to participate in this.
He's taking it like a joke. He's taking it for a joke, a really big joke.
But Dee, the only reason why Paige is quote unquote now woken up, it's sad to say, is because this man literally turned around, mooned her, gave her his whole behind, and walked away. If Chris kept on communicating with her, she'd be sitting there like the dog Bentley, waiting on his arrival. This is a shame.
But Nurse, you don't think it has to do it from the last episode where she spent time with her mom, and maybe they probably spoke some sense into her head, like make her realize.
Dee, we too old. We are way too old, Dee. No. Didi, once he passed 23,
But Joel in the comments, I forgot to mention that when he had that conversation with his mom, because she brought it up, which is true. He was lying to his mom. Like he didn't tell his mom the full story. And when he said that, like he's not going to get married, he's not going to stay married to Paige. He making it look like, for me, what he making it look like is Paige that has the issue, and then the way he explained it to his mom is like he's making his mom think like he's not really the one that have the issue is Paige. But then, like you said, Chris,
his mama knew he was with the shenanigans. His mama is married to his daddy. So his mom was kind of looking there like somebody else said earlier. She was like, come on with this lunch, with this dinner, whatever they were eating. The mama was not interested because he was like, you know how I am. She was just like, I know how you are. Run Paige, run Paige. When the mama looking like at the son like that, it's nothing good.
Kia hit it right on the head. That's Derek Jackson's wife, Junior. The mama is that she know what she raised.
Chris Jackson.
Yes, that's the both of them are the same. She raised Derek Jackson wife, Dia, whatever her name is. They come from the same. What church they going to? Make sure
the church of
They said her name is Dinea. Like she's always in denial. When somebody said that.
They all from the same cousins.
What's up, Diali? I know Diali gonna keep it real.
Yeah, Diali. well, good evening, everyone from the UK. Well,
good evening from the Caribbean.
The mommy was watching that daddy visually wanting to dick down Paige on the wedding day. Yeah. We both know that mommy knows that daddy is a dog. That daddy is a dog. DAWG. He's a dog. Exactly. So if you've got a role model like that, remember Chris probably was brought up by this fool. Can't expect this Chris. You can't expect Chris to have any decorum, any morals for any kind of woman. I mean, the mom literally stood there while the daddy's giving him advice. The daddy's been real sexual about her on her wedding day. I'd have thumped him in his head in front of all the guests. I'd have been so disgusted.
I was disgusted. This grown old man is looking at this young girl like that.
But you guys, you heard that saying before. If you play with dogs, you get fleas.
Page full of fleas. Page full of fleas. Let me tell you. She's Page covered in them. There's no delousing medicine that can get rid of them. Yeah. No. I don't know how. I don't know how as a woman. We as women and you guys, you've been through it before where you've had that one relationship where you're giving and all they're doing is taking. There's nothing that you're getting back. You're not getting nothing back. Now, it would take Stevie Wonder would be able to see what Chris is like. And Paige isn't seeing it. I'm sorry. You can understand the brother having no energy because he's probably seen these fools before.
She said she got 2 therapists on standby. You telling me 2 therapists can't give you enough tools to function in life, even if she constant before the marriage?
But
Kia, they all keep.
Hold on. Let's take it one at a time. Go ahead, Ness.
Sorry, Diali, because each therapist keep quitting on her every other day. They can't do this. You cannot be able to keep a license. You will end up cutting Paige out.
Go ahead,
I have a different viewpoint on it. If Paige was my client, I would love her to come in regularly because I would be taking the money, knowing she's a damn fool that's going to keep making my bank balance bigger. She's an idiot. You cannot rescue a fool. I'm sorry. You can't be Captain Save-A-Ho for everyone. The fact that she's running down a busted looking black man like him tells you all what you need to know about Paige. She's a classy girl. She's educated. The man has no Subway store and he's bragging about he has more money than her. He's buying Mercedes. We all know that car was leased for that hour for the photos.
So, Diali, you're not giving Paige no grace this episode at all.
Listen,
you guys are hard, bro.
I would be tired of her. I would be sorry, Kia. I would be tired of Paige because I've been there. I've been the fool where my friends are telling me, get rid. And you keep getting involved. Sometimes you have to let them just crash and burn. And that's where the brother's at. The brother said, look, I ain't going to jail for you because there's going to be another ninja that's going to be coming in when that fool's gone.
Oh, you ladies are hard. Honestly, you ladies are hard.
No, Didi. No, we got common sense.
No, but it look like, because like she said she's reevaluating herself. She's starting to realize that sometimes you can just do it on your own. You don't need someone in your life.
Didi.
I give her some points for that.
Didi, I've had girlfriends that sit over your house, cry, and make it like they just had an epiphany, and then they like, oh my gosh, and then 2 days later they're back with this guy or the next with ninja. No, Paige, I don't believe her. I think she just sounds good, whatever she heard somebody else say, and this is what you want to hear.
He called her at 3 o'clock in the morning. She gonna show up like a dang fool. Like I said, she is Bentley the dog. And there's nothing like this that really irritates me, especially if you're talking about Black women. Black women need to be used to luxury. Black women need to be used to good, healthy relationships. This is a 17-year-old mind frame. This isn't a grown person. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You see the thing with Paige is talking the talk and not walking the walk. Yeah. And you see when Chris comes around swinging that big D, she's gonna take that and get whopping her backside because she knows that's what she wants. And then the next day he's gonna turn around and go, "Oh, I'm not attracted to you," and then start with his no tears crying. Paige, I'm sorry, I'm tired of you. You need to cancel, Paige.
And then with her 2 therapists on standby, Paige is not ready. You can make money going to counseling, but if you're not ready to tell the truth, it's not doing any good. So she's basically wasting time and money.
2 therapists on standby, they're gonna make money off her. Take the money from her because you deserve to ring somebody like Paige. She got no sense. I'm sorry, she got no sense.
She don't need therapy. She just need to come over to my house and I get her together and give her some value. Because you're not going to sit here dark-skinned women and have them thinking that all of us like this looking a dang on fool. No, ma'am, that's not how none of this works.
Yeah, but you see, Lauren made a good point. You teach people how to treat you. She allows it. And that's very true. Because she teached Chris how to treat her and what to allow her and on what boundaries she have with him. So he's basically just abusing her. So that's all it is.
He's using her for a body.
And also, too, I know a lot of us are talking about submission. I'm sure you guys have heard this in the mainstream. I definitely believe in that. But I don't believe in being stupid. I don't believe in being a doormat. And I do not believe in giving my body just to sit up here and say, oh, well, I'm a dog for somebody. No, have some self-worth. Have something about yourself. I don't care if the lady was built like a refrigerator or a car. At the end of the day, it's your body. See value within yourself. You don't have to be the finest thing walking, but still, God has created you and he found value within you to make life being out of you. So stop making yourself turn into Pennyworth.
Preach. What I'm going to go on is that Paige was going to add to the nurse. Paige wanted to seem overly religious and, you know, come off as like this good Christian girl for the show when it first started. But when you say you was looking for a God-fearing man, right away you should have known that Chris wasn't that man. So when you're being submissive, you can't just be submissive to anybody. So at that point, she should have known, like, hey, this man's heart is not after God, so how can I follow him? Because he would have just led her all the way to wherever. Mm-hmm. And she would have just been out there. But yeah, that's what the issue was that he was not after God's own heart.
But Kia, you had the preacher. You had the preacher who's a godly man that came in, and he just couldn't believe that this woman that could probably old enough to be his daughter is letting this fool just use her. He's just using her. And I'm telling you now, I'm absolutely certain Paige is giving this fool money. Because that's why he's buying his.
Lord.
I'm telling you, she's giving him money. Why do you think he was confessing about the Mercedes?
Do you think Paige is that gullible?
Yeah.
I can't take it. Please, no. I can't take
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, he's giving him money. He's giving her, you know what? He's paying with the D, and she's giving him, and she's paying for the money. She's paying for everything's lifestyle. You know, she needs to buy him a bigger fitting suit. And Dee, please don't buy that suit. Please don't buy that suit.
Look, it's on the way.
Paige
It's in the
needs
woods.
real counseling because whoever she's seeing is not working for her. Because I had to agree with Sly Cat. A real counselor does not give you advice; they give you the tools to navigate through life. So it's obvious that she didn't have the tools because she wouldn't have been in such this condition.
Well, look, is that a good point? We blame Chris all day, but Paige has the power to end it all. She's
Most
desperate.
definitely.
Yeah,
Thank you, Reed. Thank you.
I think. Sorry, Dee.
No, it's okay.
No,
No, it's okay. Carry on.
So I'm
No,
not gonna go ahead, nurse.
She's the one with the vagina. I cannot have somebody that's outside of my body, outside of my being, to control what am I doing with my body and what I give my time to. It's not like, what are we giving this man? You won't even give him a disciple, a term of anything. I cannot. Then that would make me look like the biggest idiot ever if I tell people that this idiot was the one that took control over me. Oh gosh, please don't.
All right.
And you know what else? Sorry, Dee. You know what else?
No, go Diali then Kia. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Diali.
Oh, sorry. The fact is, there's no D in the world that would make me lose my mind and stop paying. And believe you me, ladies, I've had some damn good D, but I ain't degrading myself to a messed up, busted face boy like Chris to come disrespect me and buying Mercedes for some D-Tech model, and she don't even look that good. She didn't even look that good. Paige was much more classier than that, and Paige does not know her worth. This is what this is about.
Yeah, the self-esteem, it all goes down to her self-esteem. It's really low. But go ahead, Kia.
And just what I would like to add, like I said, even though we're all here beating up poor Paige today, because I can see pieces of me and Paige because they've been there, done that. But she mentioned several times on the Unfiltered prior to the show and then on this particular episode where she was talking about she wanted it so bad. So sometimes people want something so bad that they can't see the signs or they don't hear what's going on. So I think she was at that state. Now, like I said, am I still riding with her? No, because I don't think she all the way delivered.
Yeah, because that's why she made that statement. She's trying to break the generational curse. I don't know who tell her she has that responsibility to break that generational curse of divorce in her family. Nobody give you that responsibility. Why do you want to do that?
So I don't think that she just didn't articulate it right. Because she really need to do some fixing on herself first. So yeah, I may say I want to break generational curses, but there's levels to it. You got to work on yourself first before you break any generational curses.
Yeah.
So she wasn't even ready to go to that level yet.
Let's talk about Virginia and Erik. They wanna get a divorce because of the dogs.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
Production is petty. Production keep cutting into that girl, showing she got alcohol on her hand. They are saying that girl don't have no. She's saying she's anxious and all that. They're saying, no, ma'am, you need to go to AA. That's what your anxiety is.
Yeah.
Production is petty.
Yeah, the two of them, I don't know. And then they saying I love you as if like I can't see how they love one another because to me they're not at that point yet. But they always hiding their problems and trying to have a good time. And then they act like the problems go away. Every time they have a good time, they act like the problems go away. They still exist. And that's why they end up in that issue with the dogs. And then he's saying like his dog. Go ahead, Diali.
Sorry, Dee. This episode, he came across like he was her father. He was trying to control her. I mean, she went missing for 30, 40 minutes. Listen, when I was married, if my husband told me I've been missing for 30, 40 minutes, I'd ask him, what did I miss? Was there something interesting I should have been here for? I don't need to speak. I don't need to address you. You just need a phone call to say, I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll see you later. I'm gone out. You don't need to, put me on a tag. That's so ridiculous.
You probably wasn't drinking and fell in the toilet off the bridge. you gotta be worried. You like, where you been, girl? Because you don't know what she can get into in 10 minutes.
And you know she like to end up in her ex's bedroom talking about she's sleeping at other men's couches and stuff. What are you talking about, ma'am?
She ain't sleeping on no couch.
Pastor Carl said, I got a wife, and that ain't happening. When she mentioned about sleeping on other people's couches, like, you're in a marriage now, you're not single anymore.
It makes sense for Virginia.
Y'all jumped off the dogs. I need to go back to that dog. That dog was bad. And then she was like, the dog behaving like you. He's like, no, he said earlier, the dog has no boundaries. The dog just humping on everything. He just jumping. But did you notice when they were arguing, the dog would sit on the couch like,
the dog knew that marriage was over. The dog knew he came there to split them up because he wants normality. He don't want granddad, dictating to him, when he must eat and how he must behave. That dog knows that man is gone. She gonna choose the dog and he's out. He's in the doghouse.
Yeah, because she's like, I'm gonna go to my sister's house with my cat. She misses the cats, and he's like, that's the first dude I see that's allergic to cats, and there wasn't the cat in the room. How can you I don't know how he does it, but then
they about to have a zoo.
Mm-hmm.
That happily live in the house. There's a zoo. Y'all about to have a zoo.
That dog gonna go missing, let me tell you, because Erik is not going to be, bested by no dog.
Diali, you thinking just like me, because he look like that type of guy. You know what he gonna do? Rent a room in a hotel on the highest floor. Take a tennis ball, bounce the ball, and have the dog run after the ball, and have the dog jump over the balcony.
He's gonna go doggy heaven. He's gonna go doggy heaven.
Rewind. Did y'all see when they asked Chris about the dog, and then he said he don't care. That showed his deviant side. You see how he said how his eyes was looking when he was like, I don't care about that dog. He was trying to poison the dog. Chris is like,
you don't ring the dog neck. Let me tell you, don't ring the dog neck.
Yeah.
Listen, for Virginia,
that's the only thing Chris and Erik would agree on is getting rid of those dogs.
The dogs.
Right? Like that. Because you always say the dog just on the floor sick, and you're like, what?
The dog didn't even have a proper leash. They had a rope around the dog. I said, well, what is this? And then on top of that, I understood the dog thing. I was like, okay, well, I don't own any animals because my parents always told me either you eat or the animal eats. So which one you want to do? So I didn't choose a dog. But outside of that, I was kind of confused because I was like, well, what's the big deal about this dog? But when Erik explained that the dog has a playful side of it and it plays like it's biting on you, chewing like a cute little chew. But I understood where he was coming from because the dog is an animal at the end of the day. And what if there's children there and the dog comes up and try to playfully bite and he doesn't know his strength and bites on hard? Then I was like, okay, well, I understand that. But outside of that, just who gives a dang about the dog? The dog is just like the owner. Virginia crazy too. So it's not the dog's fault.
The dog was there before him, man. Erik has to go. I'm on the dog side. Tell Erik to get out. He's obviously, he's the one that needs to be in the doghouse. I'm sorry, that dog was there before him. Goodbye.
Let me just give a quick shout out to Faded Chick for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And yeah, let's get back to it. Look, like I tell you, Erik's plan is get a hotel room, highest floor, bounce that ball. You will get rid of that dog. I'm telling you, we will never. It'll get to a point where people will start wondering we're not going to see that dog anymore. But those two people, they're like they hide. The thing I don't like about them is they keep on hiding the behind the problems, and then they're not trying to work it out. And that's the issue I have with the two of them.
I saw Erik last night that I didn't like, so I kind of like ignored it previously, but he seemed like a little like, I'm trying to say, just basically a little crazy, wanted to chop you up and put you in the basement and tie you up.
Yeah. Serial killer look.
And I was like, he's scary because it was like almost like he's very controlling. And I get that he's older, but it just didn't seem, all his comments to her, like when he was like, well, you just leave. They were just having a normal conversation. Yeah. Everything just like kind of short with her. So I'm like, what happened to the other Erik? Was that your representative? Now we see the real Erik with the little twitch.
Yep, because even I don't know if you guys remember when they first met, he was saying, "Oh, Virginia, you know, you don't have to work as hard. I'll make sure that I take care of the finances. Everything will be completely on me," which is like, okay, well, that's commendable. But then I thought about it, like you said, when you started seeing a little bit of his side, it's like, oh, you want to take care of everything so that Virginia will always be. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have this. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be there.
Right,
So you can control her with this.
You're totally rightness. That's the type of guy he's totally right.
He's got a serial killer look about him. I'm sorry. I know if that offends anyone, but the man looks like he's a serial killer, and serial killers kill animals. So Virginia, tell Erik to go, please.
And Didi, I didn't want to say that, but that's what vibes I was getting. I was like, I don't want to say it.
Exactly.
Very good. You, Diali, you see, you.
You mark my words. I'm telling you, that dog gonna go missing,
Look.
and then I'm gonna say to you, I warned you. I told you so. Serial killer, look. Serial killer.
If I give all the super chat, Stacey, I agree with Cole. He is very, very calculated. That man, because he starts to have arguments with her when she wants to go out. And like I say, I remember when he met her friends, I knew he didn't like the situation, but he was just pretending like he liked her friends. But he knew he didn't like the friends, like when he met her male friends. So he's very calculated as to what he does. And then when the time comes where she probably come up with some issue or some problem they have, he think of something that affects him to draw away from basically having that conversation with her. Like, he's making it about himself. And she needs to, like somebody said, she needs to run. She really needs to run.
Serial killer, look. I'm telling you, there's something wrong with him, and that dog better go into hiding, because Erik is coming for him.
And now let's talk about Jacob and Haley now. Oil and water. But this episode, it looked like It looked like
producers are basically keep having dinner together, keep having conversations. Jacob is over it, okay? He like, I'm not, I'm just here for the show. Because when he ate that steak last week, that was his exit. When he was like, girl, we just died a slow death to divorce.
Yeah, when they were eating that steak, yeah, for sure. Like, he looked like, yeah, like he's just going along for the ride, and that's what it is. Like, he's not really. When they had that go-kart racing, she won. She was so excited. I said maybe they probably have a little connection there. But then when they had the dinner, it went back to the same nonsense. Like,
I think he had a reality check. Cause like when Lauren said, I mean, y'all always jump on me with Diali when I say Jacob is not bad looking. And she asked me,
he's absolutely not. You're telling me he's not good looking with that face? I could not wake up to that man. Listen, there's no D in the world that would make me turn a blind eye to that face. None.
Oh God! Listen, y'all talking about the D. I'm trying to figure out, Haley, where was the seasoning? Sis made half a salmon, not even half, 1/4 of a salmon, cut up the back of the Brussels and put it in the oven and said that she a top shelf cook. What are you talking about, ma'am?
But that's true because
I thought about that.
Go ahead, Kia.
I thought about that, but you got to consider the source. So we all eat differently, and we all have different things that we say that's good. So in her world, she says she's a 7-8, depending on what she's cooking.
I give the oven more props than I give Haley.
You know what I noticed about Haley? You know what I noticed this week? Because Jacob kind of rejected her the last time, she's starting to catch a few feelings towards him.
Yeah.
I've definitely noticed it. It's that rejection. When somebody doesn't want you, it turns you on even. You think, oh, well, what's wrong with me? Not with me. No way.
Kia and Diali, you read that comment? That's...
Yeah, you're damn right you could hang a hanger on him. You're damn right. You could hang something on that face. That nose alone, man. He needs to go back to Sesame Street. They're missing a puppet. They're missing a puppet.
Diali, okay, let's pause. I bet you in the real world, he does not have a problem pulling women.
What from behind?
We bought them corny
No
jokes
way
here.
somebody seen that face.
We bought here them corny jokes.
See, y'all clowned me 2 weeks ago when I said I would take the he did the for the thing for the flight plan. He put the
the coordination. I thought it was cute.
The coordinates, the coordinates.
Yeah.
So I could do corny jokes, I just be like, okay, whatever.
Nus, can you do corny jokes?
No, my whole life has been a corny joke at this point. No, I can't.
Yeah. There's nothing in the world that would make me look at him and think, man, I want to smash the hell out of him. I want to smash the hell out of him. You're damn right. With a bag over his head. There's no man in the world that could approach me looking busted like that. I'd be offended. I'd be so offended.
I don't know. Jacob looks like a regular Caucasian man to me.
That's what I'm saying. He goes to the bar. I bet you he don't have a problem going because he's a fit. He's at the bar. I bet you girls be like, hey, how you doing?
Jacob is a nice guy, but Jacob strikes me as those guys in high school that was probably slim with glasses, like those nerdy guys. And when they got older, like they buy supplements and stuff to buff up themselves to look more, like I said, look more like eye candy. But his problem is his communication skills are poor with women because he was never the type of guy probably be talking to girls. He was probably into his computers and doing what he's doing because he's an IT specialist. But he cannot speak to women.
But maybe this show is only showing his corny side, like they're showing only Virginia drinking side. Because I could be like real, like silly around the house. Like me and my dogs, we be in here like getting it in. And if a new guy probably be like, what is she in there doing? So we all probably have like a little corny side, but I think the show is just showing that because they just, gotta put you in a box. Did he?
Yeah, it was true.
Nah.
I grew up like in Seinfeld, so I really, really enjoyed those type of dry humor things. So to me, again, like I said, I think Jacob is like an average all-American boy. He, works. Not everybody can be like a player. So
look, after I make that comment, hold on, dear. After I make that comment, this is my conclusion.
Oh God!
Really?
No, Jacob is a no. Nah.
So basically, if I hooked up with a man like Jacob, he'd have to tell me jokes all night, out the bedroom, in the bedroom to keep me laughing because there's nothing about him that. Nah. I'm sorry, Jacob, you're busted.
Yeah.
And
I don't think he's at home telling jokes like that. I think it's just he's awkward. He's an introvert, and he's put in an environment that he's not used to. But I think overall, on paper, he looks good. He has a house. He has a job. I mean,
we're not denying that. But we're not denying that, Kia. Like, I mean, he would be a good fit for a woman. Like, maybe if Paige was into Caucasian men, I think they would have probably been a good fit. But the thing about him, he's like I say, his communication skills because she was telling him about some trip she had, and he was like, we could probably do deep tissue. Like he disregard everything she said.
He's not. He over her. So whatever she say sound like Charlie Brown. Wonk, 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 wonk. Right? Played him. I ain't got once you play me like that, I don't hear nothing you saying.
I'm just proud of Jacob for standing up on his own, that he didn't allow Haley to, play with him or whatever.
Yeah, I give him credit for that. He still look like this. Yeah,
he look like this. On a shirt that says Team Jacob, y'all gonna be like,
oh God.
Yeah. Make sure when you wear that, make sure you put your camera off, please, because we don't want to see that.
Listen, call him a nerd, but Jacob stand up for himself. Jacob not no little pushover. Jacob said, "Who you talking to?" Oh, my bad.
And you know what, nurse? That makes he's made himself look very attractive to her now, and I saw the shift in her. He's made himself look very attractive to her. She's starting to like him. I'm telling you, she's starting to like him.
Do
you think so, Diali?
No. Did y'all see the unfiltered? He had growing his little facial hair.
Well, yeah. He didn't look busted. He didn't look busted and unfiltered. He looked like, he well groomed himself and stuff. But on the show, I don't like, he got a little dusty to me.
He's
I
mashed.
don't know.
He's mashed. Come on, Didi, just say it. He's mashed.
Oh God. And Chris trying to talk mess about the man. Chris better be careful because he sit up there and talking to the right one. He ain't Erik. Jacob is not Erik.
Yeah, I saw that unfiltered part where he wanted to start something with Jacob because Jacob told him he was treating Paige like trash, and he went on a rant.
With no lie.
I think Jacob would have. Yeah, I think Jacob would have probably put him down.
What was that in the spoiler for next week?
No, it's there's also Married at First Sight Unfiltered where you can interview them. It's on YouTube. You can check it out on YouTube. But let's talk about Clara and Ryan because Ryan. So all the time Ryan is getting his groove on, and then he just have Clara riding dry.
So I have no. I'm not even feeling sorry for Clara at this point. Because if somebody, you keep giving them this favor and they don't want to repay the favor, that's right. Your part, you keep on. If she's on, well, I just keep doing this every night. When do you figure out, like, well, let me stop?
That's her husband.
You do is close her mouth. That's all.
You're not doing favors if you're not coming back.
Yeah, just shut your mouth. That's what you need to do. Listen, the mouth is shut for the night. That's what I'll be telling him. You think I'm going to be using my mouth and you're not giving me nothing back? You'd have to move yourself with that. He's plain using her. He's using her. He doesn't like her jailer on chin, and he's tired of her. And she's probably boring him to death as well.
Because I kept on wondering why she had all those veins in her neck. I mean, every night that neck working, that neck.
Oh,
There you are. The girl got good exercise in her neck. She don't need to work.
She must be singing that song every night. My neck, my back.
Oh my God.
She ain't singing the other part. She ain't singing the other part because nothing else is getting service. She ain't singing nothing else.
She's in the same boat with Paige because there's no way that you should be still like doing all that. And he not. What do you do? Just roll up and go to sleep? Like, okay, thank you.
That's right.
But you gotta put your neck into it.
God.
Exactly. That's what she's gonna do. She putting her neck into it. You're not getting nothing in return.
Ryan is wrong for that. Ryan is wrong. He's wrong on so many levels.
He's probably using that.
At first, I thought that it was because either, they were saying that he was raised in the church. I thought maybe the family had instilled so much about Christianity to him, it caused him to have a mental blockage or something when it does come to intercourse with women. Then I was like, okay, well, maybe he's just celibate. But I'm like, okay, well, now you're married. So, okay. Then I was thinking, well, maybe he's impotent or something is going on. But once Clara said that she is doing this and she told the girls what she's been doing, I was like, wow. I thought that Ryan needed tape, he needed a gag, he needed to be beat and spit on because there's something. I was like, well, something not right here. But now finding that out, I'm just like, wow, girl, you are a complete idiot that you allowed this man to sit up here and play you like we were the fool.
Yeah, totally. Mm-hmm. And
even
then
when
he's telling her about
exercise. Oh, sorry, Didi.
No, I said you were telling her about how he wants her, how he can build that. Get to that point where he wants to, make love to her. He's talking about trust, and she was just sitting on her phone. She was just on her phone,
Haley need to get together. Him and Haley need to hook up because they like to tell those stories, those long bedtime stories. He was just feeding her something. He probably don't even believe that stuff he's saying. Shut up. Again, I'm with if you let her do that,
she was just sitting there I don't want to hear that shit. That's exactly how she sat there. She was like, yeah, okay. She on her phone. She pick up her phone. She's like, oh, all right. And in her head, she don't want to hear that.
Listen, that neck gonna be working hard. That's all he want. He want that neck and that mouth, He don't want nothing else. Even when they were doing the tantric exercises, he was as cold as ice. Cold as ice. If that was my husband when I was married, we would have to leave. to get home quick, you know, because that, you know, that in itself was really sexual. My man was not interested at all. Him and it, look, I don't know why he's still sporting the Wolverine look. I don't know if he feels sexy, but you know, he needs to change. He needs to change those stupid ass t-shirts that he keeps wearing, thinking they're making him look like the boss. And he needs a hairdresser. He needs some male grooming.
Lauren always bring up some interesting questions. Do you think that man is a virgin?
No.
You're a virgin. You're not doing all that. Come on now.
Nah.
Yeah, but he gets it. But I mean, he's not going all the way. He's just getting oral.
You're married to her now.
We all grown. You're not gonna just keep doing that. Let's think about when your virgin day. I don't know, like I said, when you whatever, but when you were younger, you only gonna play so much when you was that age, when you was young, and he a grown man. You don't watch enough TV, and he didn't had enough stuff going on. That I don't think he's a virgin. I think he just playing with her emotions because he's selfish. Because why would you let her keep doing that if you know that you're not going?
Because she's the only thing she's good at. Listen, she runs her mouth too much, and he thought, you know what? If you're gonna put your mouth to use, because that's the only thing she's good at, and that's all he's interested in.
But look, Alan made that's very true. When Ryan made that comment, say he can give Jacob a few tips. Tips to be a mute. I said
it must be the crack. I said, Ryan on drugs? He on meth?
Yeah, because I heard when he said, I'm good at this. I can give Jacob some tips. I was like, since when you became a relationship guru, mister, like that man is just, I don't know, something is wrong with him.
Don't take up for him. He is selfish. Because again, I can remember, even though I'm not going to give my age again, but I remember when I was, and you're not going to keep playing and not, they playing every night.
Yeah, so, he's just using her. He's you know what? He's no better than Chris because he keeps throwing these little things out there, giving her little nuggets of hope, you know, and she's sitting there knowing full well he's not going to fulfill all that. What was the point of the yoga session if you're not going to go home and smash the life out of each other?
Exactly.
And
exactly. I agree with you, Ali.
Go ahead, Didi.
No, I say I agree with Ali. Exactly. Go ahead, Kia. I just agree with you.
Think about it, guys. Like that act is to me more intimate than the other act. So you're like letting her put like her mouth on your stuff, and you're telling me that it's not no religious reach. It's nothing. There's no virgin. He's just playing. That's all I gotta say. Because I think that other act is more intimate.
You know what, Kia? You know what, Kia? You know the problem was? She's probably from the era where we used to play the video game called Pac-Man. When she used to and he used to gobble, gobble, gobble. You know, she's taking that to a new level. Gobble, 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 gobble. You know, I'm just saying.
Clara,
if you're watching or you find out knows Clara, tell her to stop it. Let it go.
Clara,
stop gobble. Just stop gobble. He'll get bored. You know, he'll have to fling something else up. I'm telling you. Just one of the man.
Clara has stated she was with a guy previously for 3 years that never wanted to sexually have intercourse with her. So then it's like, well, were you doing the same thing with them? And it's just like, well, Clara, what's wrong?
Yeah,
again,
it's like a pattern.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like a trend. Like she's just repeating the same thing in her relationships, it seems.
Maybe she got something going on that we don't know about. Maybe he like, you don't smell too.
Oh God!
It's the chin. It's the Jay Leno chin. They have a look at that, and the sexual arousal just dies there and then, you know. And then she just turns to the video game Pac-Man, and then it's on, and then it's like, good night, see you in the morning. You know.
Oh, you forgot to add game over the alley.
Exactly.
I think all the girls are pretty this season.
Say again, this?
I think all the girls are very, very pretty. Haley, it depends on the day. Virginia, she looked. Never mind. Brianna's pretty. Paige is pretty, and Clara's pretty.
Let's see what Ablavi have to say about that, because and thanks for the super chat. I think Ablavi might have a different opinion about that.
Listen,
hey,
my man is I think he's a virgin too. I think he is a virgin with females. I do.
Always with the pussy.
I really do. So he's just doing what he does with the boys allegedly. And he goes, oh, she's pretty good. She's like one of the guys. But I don't think he wants the other hole. I think he wants to do the back door. But I don't think he wants the front hole. No.
To be honest, I don't think so, but hey, that's your opinion. I don't think so.
Think about it. If you was a gay man, right? And you were given a
We don't
woman,
know.
you want to do what you've been doing before.
No, but so Ablav, you never think, because for me, you never think that maybe he's just not attracted to her, like, period, like, because that's what I'm getting from him, like he's not attracted to her.
No, because like that's the lie men tell. How many men tell you they only sleep with 10s, and then you see their lineup and they're -1s, -10s, 2s? No.
All right, well, there you go, Ablavi. That's
But this
Ablavi's
is what
conclusion.
really did for me. When he says, I need to see stars and the Disney princess theme song, I said, honey, you one of the
girls. Yeah, he's for the musical. He wants a musical.
I don't know. I don't think so, but hey.
Have you seen how big his butt sits?
Say again, this?
Have you seen how big his butt sits? Everywhere the camera goes, Ryan booty is right behind it.
Hello.
That's right.
Nah, ladies,
he's got a good looking ass too. He's got a good looking ass. I'm sorry. That man don't want me to slap him. I wonder what's wrong with him.
Is it just me, or was he trying to get with Jacob in that episode? Or was I seeing I felt like he was more into Jacob than she's sitting here crying on the couch, boo-hoo. I can't take it. He was real in that conversation with Jacob.
Ablavi, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
You didn't see that?
No, I didn't see that.
They're gonna have a sleepover. There's a sleepover
coming. Every time I see her, I didn't see the usual. The usual is, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
The Disney song was coming out, I think, for him, and the sparkle in his eyes. When she said that to her, I was like, oh, Clara. Well, what's the problem? You're a man. Let me ask you, if you was married to Clara, right? And you was doing this for 6 weeks. No, it's like 8 weeks. Yeah. What would you say if you weren't attracted to her, but you doing this for 8 weeks?
No, but listen, I've dated a girl for a year before and we haven't done anything. So it's not, for me, it's not an issue. But would
you want her to do sexual activities, but not because you're married, right?
But yeah, you have a point. If we're married, then yeah, I want to get down. But then if we're not married, we don't have to.
But you're married, so let's use the same thing. Even the ladies, you're married to a man for 8 weeks. I wish we lived in another country, because if you don't consummate the marriage, you can get a divorce. But nonetheless, right. You really going to be right and say, you know what, I got a divorce because I didn't consummate my marriage.
Listen, I got married. I was married. I can speak for Nurse. You can speak as well. I'm telling you now, if the night passed and that marriage wasn't consummated, we would have had an annulment, because I ain't having that at all. Listen, he ain't letting me use my neck and get neck ache every damn day, so he can have fun at my expense. And then, we're doing a little sexual yoga. Nothing at all. What's the point? What's the point?
This is why everybody needs to stop with this foolishness that the once you get married and now there's an armor of whatever foolishness that now your brain is left your body. I don't care about none of this stuff these people are talking about. There is levels of respect that you need to have for yourself. You want to play these games, it's fine. But don't turn around and say, oh, because I'm married, that I got to come up with all this foolishness. This doesn't make any sense. You're sitting up here doing all this fellatio and hand jobs for this man, and he doesn't even want you to. What are we doing here?
Exactly.
I'm telling you, I'm addicted to boys. I'm addicted to boys.
Let's just okay. Let's do.
Because think about it. If she said,
Go
"Oh,
ahead.
I'm not doing anything," then we could say he was a virgin, right? If she said, "I'm not doing anything," but the fact that she's getting on her knees and not praying,
You know that girl ain't getting on her knees. You know that girl ain't getting on her knees. You know, he's saying neck down, ass back. That's what he's saying to her. Neck down, ass back. Do your job for the night. You know, he ain't interested in nothing else.
Let's discuss the last couple with Brianna and Vincent.
Yeah.
It was for me just short and sweet about the two of them.
I think he's nuts.
Wow.
I'm ready for.
How is he nuts?
He's nuts. I'm telling you, he's nuts. Did you know he knows the camera's watching him? The camera's watching him, so he was nicer to squeaky voice this week. You know, because that voice would irritate the crap out of me anyway. So, you know, all of a sudden he's been nice to her because he knows the cameras are watching and he's coming across really bad. You wait till them cameras go out the room. He's going to be a real a-hole to her. I'm telling you.
You see, but on this episode, the only thing I find he was out of his jurisdiction when he was trying to give Haley advice about reacting to Jacob's jokes because he cannot take jokes.
Exactly. That's why I say he's not.
Nah, I still think I think out of all the couples, I think the two of them will make it.
You know why you're wrong, Didi? You know why you're wrong? Because in a year's time, you're gonna switch on Discovery Channel, then you're gonna see Jacob. Telling you, that man has a screw loose, as we say here in the
Not
UK.
Jacob, Haley. You said the wrong name. You meant
right. Champagne Vinny.
You can't mess with my Jacob.
Jacob.
Champagne Vinny. Champagne Vinny.
Not Jacob. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Champagne Vinny. Vinny and that messed up. You know, I don't know what kind of style he's trying to sport. You know, who gives these people a wardrobe? You know, my gosh, he don't about champagne on the shirt. He needed to dash that shirt long ago anyway. It was way too tight for him.
Well, they will get to that point where he fits in the shirt. Okay, that's small matters.
You're gonna see him on Discovery Channel. You're gonna see Champagne Vinny on the Discovery Channel, and there's gonna be a whole storyline about it. And then you lot are gonna come back and say, "I knew Diali was right." I'm telling you. He's on there.
That's exactly why I ordered my suits. Kia, I got the suit coming, Kia.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, I was just telling Kia I got my suit coming. Go ahead, Nus.
I really like them together. I know. I really. First of all, Brianna is drop dead gorgeous to me. I love the fact that they're showing these women that have their own, they're able to afford everything that they want, and they have these men that are willing to provide them as well. I'm a very big fan of Brianna. I really like Vincent. Hopefully, hopefully Diali is not going to be right, but they just seem very cute. They're getting to know each other again. It's not like, they're going to be riding off into the sunset, but both of them are seeming to be okay with each other. Hopefully they last for a while.
Yeah, I think, and you see that thing with the bicycles they did, that was romantic. I mean, they're trying. They're trying. If they just patch out the little communication issues and he get over being sensitive and she's just a little controlling, I think they will be.
That man ain't got communication problem. That man has psychological problems. I am telling you. You watch the next time she spills a drink, he's gonna bust that camera out the way and wring her neck. I'm telling you, Discovery Channel's waiting for him.
All right, well, I'm about to wrap this up. I've been on for an hour. I gotta go. Ablavi, you got anything to say?
I'm ready for this season to be over. That's it.
And shout out your channel.
Ablavi M. Yep. Catch me there.
Diali, what you got to say about the everything?
Oh, well, Paige needs to just go on Tinder and update her profile. And the two alcoholics need to stop arguing about the dog children. And Jacob needs to go Beverly Hills and find a damn good plastic surgeon. and probably a stylist, and get rid of Haley, the wannabe. And like I said, Champagne Vinny will be on a channel near you called Discovery Channel when, you know, squeaky voice gets annoying. And I don't know what other one I've missed. And Chris is cancelled for me. Chris will be, listen, Chris is coming back to swing that big D on Paige. You know, so they're not over. So that's fine.
I don't think so. I have faith in my sister. I don't think so. That's one thing I'll say. I have faith in my sister. Nurse, go ahead, Nurse. Your channel.
You guys can find us at the Nurse and Nerd, the and sign. Listen, this whole thing, I hate to see this like this, but unfortunately, it is showing that, as we see on social media, you'd like to think that people are not really doing this. This is a big old joke, but it's not a joke. There are a lot of women that are allowing foolishness like this to happen. So hopefully everybody can learn a lesson. They can stay away and do not get played by none of these idiots. Because ladies, you guys are well worth it. You guys are awesome. There's no way that God has placed life into you for you to be out here being played between the preacher, the pastor, and Chris. Don't do that to yourself.
Amen, sister. Amen. Let's go, Kia, women of power. Let's go, Kia.
So my YouTube is Kia Simone, and my Instagram is author.Kia Simone. And don't forget to grab my book From Pain to Love, which you can get off of Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So if you like these reality shows, you will love my book, but there's some good stuff at the end.
All right. My closing remarks are: don't play with dogs. You're gonna get fleas. Ladies, love yourself before you love anybody, because don't be a page in a bunny. What you call it, a bunny? Bunny, the kind of Jerry
That's
Jackson.
Christ. That's not a bonnet.
A bonnet. Yeah. But anyway, on 1 to 3, let's get out. Let's see by 1 to 3.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.